Hello there, and thank you for joining me on my cosmic safari. We'll be taking a journey across the Milky Way and through time itself to a distant future where brand new alien lifeforms have come into being on several different worlds. On one of these worlds, a planet where silicon is more prevalent than carbon, huge, unmoving crystalline trees sprout up from the ground. Carbon does exist here, but it's locked underground. As such, it's silicon that combines with oxygen to create the building blocks for these solid trees. When carbon forms a complex molecule that becomes a part of a living being, it forms flexible bonds, meaning that life on Earth, for example, tends to be pliant and flexible. However, when the same process happens with silicon in place of carbon, the bonds it creates are much stronger, meaning that the life forms made by them are much more rigid. These silicon-based trees are so rigid, in fact, that unlike trees on Earth, they do not sway at all, even during a violent hurricane. They remain as still as statues. What does happen during times of high winds, however, is their crystalline pods snap off and float away, spreading across a vast area. The pods then settle on the ground, and from them, new, solid trees emerge. This isn't the only world where silicon-based lifeforms exist, however. On another nearby planet, one with absolutely no atmosphere whatsoever, there are small, spiky, crystal-like creatures that float through the void of space, landing on this and many other such planets. On these planets, all of the water is locked into mineral compounds deep underground. They then land on the planet's surface and penetrate it with their spikes, which are then used to suck out all of the resources that they need. They can then grow and reproduce, and their young develop on the ends of their spikes, before snapping off and floating away. Life looks quite different on another nearby world, however. This planet does indeed have an atmosphere, and being 1,000 times the size of Earth, its gravity is 1,000 times stronger. Everything that lives here is flat and hugs the ground. One such creature is the alien land starfish. These creatures are extremely strong, muscular, and durable. On Earth, they would weigh less than a gram, but on their homeworld, they carve deep grooves into the ground as they slowly move along trails of slime. Much of their precious energy is spent simply combating the immense gravity levels. When they do move, it's only once a day to reach a new feeding ground. When they sense that there is food nearby, they stay perfectly still and wait for it to come within reach. They then catch the unwitting prey item with their long, spiked tongue. On the same planet, or should I say, high above it, are the living gas bladders. Under extremely high pressures, like those created by high levels of gravity, gases behave in much the same way as liquids. The different gases among the cloud systems of this world, which includes layers of methane, ammonia, and hydrogen, allow these large living gas bags to float and drift through the air in much the same way as a fish drifts and floats through water. These giant floating predators are filled with pressurized hydrogen. But a life of drifting aimlessly isn't necessarily an easy one, for their existence is a constant buoyancy struggle. Float too high, and the pressures will cause them to pop. Float too low, and they will die due to the toxicity of the lower levels. This constant struggle means that they must always try and save as much energy as they possibly can, and so, allowing the air currents to carry them is their only option. Up here among the clouds, food is scarce. But even so, they must take care not to eat too much, or they may end up being too heavy to float at the correct altitude. The food that does exist up here comes in the form of smaller, wriggling animals that will unwittingly swim into the gas bladder's mouth, which is like a living cage that traps and then slowly eats its prey alive, using digestive juices. The living gas bladders are the rulers of the sky above their planet, But on an entirely different world, where the gravity is extremely low, the Davatril reigns supreme. It's a half-plant, half-insect hybrid that is built very much like an Earth insect. Owing to their low-gravity environment, they grow to around 4 feet in height and are the undisputed kings of their world. Despite their unsettling appearance, however, the Davatril isn't carnivorous. It primarily feeds on plant life, however, this food is scarce. As such, it uses its wings, which are living plants, to absorb energy from the sun via photosynthesis. The Davatril has long eye stalks with bulging spherical eyes and insect-like mandibles. It walks on 6 legs and has 2 arms with pincers. The Davatril is big, but it isn't the biggest creature to be seen in this part of the cosmos. On Europa, one of Jupiter's moons in the far future, the ice giant roams the frozen tundra. It's about the size of an elephant. On its back is a cellulose fibre padding which helps to keep its blood and body temperature nice and warm. Its blood also contains antifreeze, and it has a very slow metabolism. The ice giant spends its time walking slowly on its 6 legs between the small pools of water found on this Jovian ball of ice, which are heated by thermal vents. Upon reaching one, it then lowers its large head into the water in search of fish. It then uses its special harpoon-like tongue to impale and capture its prey. It must be very careful when doing this, however, as the ice giant is so large and so slow that if it were to accidentally fall into one of these pools, it wouldn't be able to climb out again. The water on yet another Earth-sized planet in this system is home to different life forms. 9/10 of this planet's surface is covered with ocean, and as such, evolution here has taken a rather different turn. The shallow waters are the most fertile here and provide the best hunting grounds for predators, but they're also the rarest. As such, the pair-hunting sharks must travel far and wide to find food. Because these alien sharks need to travel such long distances to find sustenance, they have developed long, flowing pectoral fins and 2 dorsal fins, which allow them to glide along effortlessly, conserving energy for their long journeys. They get their name from their ability to hunt cooperatively, in pairs. This greatly improves their odds of catching food, exotic-looking fish which themselves have evolved to be extremely fast swimmers to escape from predators. The pair-hunting sharks have another trick up their sleeves, however. While they can communicate with each other via ultrasound, they have also developed the ability to roar loudly underwater. This confuses and disorientates their prey, allowing them to feed on an entire shoal of stunned fish quickly and easily. Many thanks for watching. I much appreciate you tuning in to Beware the Q once again. I'd like to say a special thank you to all of my members and patrons, and all of my subscribers as well. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again very soon.